Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PR Connections show at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am your host. And I'm really excited about the podcast that we're going to do today. We've got two good friends of mine, Uncle Dan and Brett, and these guys are the Cash Podcast. It is a brand new podcast that we are bringing to the network, and I just wanted to take some time today to introduce you to the guys and let them tell you some things about what their show is going to look like, and crypto and cash. There's got to be a lot of people out there that are excited about those topics, huh, guys?
Absolutely.
Sorry, Dan. Yeah, so, obviously crypto is something that's been up and coming in the news the last couple of years. First really good with a market going way up, and then really bad with a bunch of things happening this past year. But there's a lot of misconceptions, and it all starts with education, and it's really the technology behind it, which is blockchain. That's probably the best part about it, and that will always carry on. So Dan and I kind of teamed up a couple months ago. Dan specializes a lot in a lot of different cash areas, and I kind of specialize a lot in the crypto areas as far as information and what's out there. So we kind of decided to team up together. What do you think, Dan? Pretty good idea,
I think it's going to be great. Absolutely. I come from a little different perspective than Brett. Even though I love crypto and have been in it since I think I got in and started in 2019. And what I discovered is, there's a lot of information out there that people just don't know. And one of the big things that made me start really thinking about helping people was a lot of people were getting scammed. Matter of fact, in the previous 12 months, people have been scammed out of about $1 billion because they don't know what they're doing. So as I got to know Brett does the crypto for real estate podcast and live presentations. We kind of connected from there, and we're on the same thought pattern. And so we told Guy what we're doing, and Guy was like, that would be a great podcast. So we decided to go ahead and move forward, and here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to bring our knowledge to the masses and get people educated, at least to be familiar with what's going on, and when they hear Bitcoin and blockchain, what it's all about. So they have a basic idea, and then obviously Dan with the cash side. So.
Yeah. And there's so much information out there nowadays about cryptocurrency. I mean, and of course, people always want to know about how can we make more of the green stuff, right? That's always a popular topic. So your backgrounds, I know, let's start with you, Brett. Tell us about what you've done that I know you're heavy in the crypto space, but you've been in the financial markets and other areas as well. Maybe share some of your background when it comes to finance.
Yep, sure. So, most of my background is in real estate. I've been a real estate broker for 18 years. At one point, I think 5 or 6 years ago, I owned my own brokerage for about a year. And watching other agents was a whole nother animal compared to me just doing real estate myself. But in 2013, I ended up doing a little over 400 short sales in 1 year when it was a huge short sale market out here. I had a radio show with my ex-partner, the whole 9 yards, all that stuff. So in about 2017, I kind of really got a little extra money for the first time in my life, at least enough to kind of keep on investing and kind of figure out different financial markets. Well, I basically started with stocks, and then I went to penny stocks, which was a very bad idea, because if anyone's ever done penny stocks, it could be a rise and fall of a civilization in 15 or 20 minutes. So I definitely don't advise that. But the long and short of it is I was hearing about Bitcoin kind of every day on the radio in 2017, and it got up to like $15,000. And I'm thinking to myself, man, a couple months ago, I was listening to this and they were talking about being $7,000, $8,000, whatever it was. So I kind of went all in with some money at the end of 2017, and I bought at the height. And I rode the next 2.5 years all the way down to the bottom of the bear market and lost probably about 80% of what I had stuck in. And then obviously we had the bull market that happened the last year and a half. And so I was able to, capitalize on all that stuff. But what it did was it forced me to pay attention to what cryptocurrency was and what blockchain was. And, why is everybody talking about it? Why, what does it do? What problems does it solve? So as I was doing this in 2017, I thought, man, it's basically about facilitating payments without needing a middleman and having it verified. And it was a lot easier to do to facilitate than sending things through a bank. It was a lot quicker, a lot cheaper, the whole 9 yards. So I wrote a white paper on how to facilitate a real estate transaction with cryptocurrency. The problem I couldn't solve at the time was the pegging. By that, I mean, Bitcoin can fluctuate even within 15, 20, 30 minutes. So if you're sending over a payment, especially a huge payment, and Bitcoin fluctuates, that's going to be a lot to make up for. And I couldn't make up for that. Well, now everything has evolved so that that problem is basically fixed. And as 2018, 2019, 2020 started evolving, I thought, this is really 100% going to be the future. I really need to wrap my brain about what it does, and more specifically with real estate and how it applies to future buying and what you can do with real estate. So I went and obtained and became a certified Bitcoin specialist. I also became a certified metaverse professional and also a certified crypto agent through another website. The long and short of it is I then went to our association, the Greater Las Vegas Realtors of Association, and I said, hey, here's who I am. I've been an agent here, a broker for 18 years. I'm a certified this, I'm a certified that. Here's my resume. We need to very much get ahead of this and blockchain and figure out our role as realtors instead of letting it come and steamroll us. And, I'll be honest with you, I was surprised. They responded back right away and said, we think this is a good idea and we'll meet with the board of directors. And then they came to me a month later and said, let's start this thing. And at first we started out as a presidential advisory group. And there are two other associations in the world, the Austin, Texas, and I believe the Miami, Florida association that has a presidential advisory group. But after our first meeting, we were able to get it approved through the board of directors as an actual committee. So now we're the actual first blockchain crypto committee in the entire world for our Realtors Association. And that's kind of where we're at. And I'm going about educating people and trying to get things implemented with some technologies as far as possibly having realtors be able to pay some of their fees or dues in crypto, having wallets set up, kind of the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of my background.
Wow, very heavy in the financial world for sure. And how about you, Uncle Dan? Tell us about your background as it pertains to finances.
How long you got? Now,
all the time you need, Uncle Dan. Tell us a story.
Well,
I'm a talker. Let's put that out there.
No, man. My story is just longer. That's it. But I'm gonna cut it down. My background is in the financial world. Went to college, played college basketball, and got out of college and tried to get into business management. Didn't like it. And then that's how I switched over into the sales arena. And back in 1981, I got into the mortgage industry. And my dad was the first African-American mortgage broker in the Oakland Bay area. And so I did that I worked with him for a couple of years. Then I went and started my own. And I was actually in that industry for 28 years. That's where I met my wife of 32 years. In the mortgage industry. And so continued on that path until to the famous 2008, 2009. But in the meantime, because I had been doing it so long, I saw the writing was on the wall because they were giving mortgages to anybody who could walk and talk. So I kind of jumped into, you know how it was, Brett. And so
that's when I started
in.
real estate, which is funny because like the first year in real estate, I didn't know any different. I was like, oh, it's not like this for mortgages?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So but in the meantime, I was watching what was going on, and I said, this isn't going to last long. So I started diversifying, and that's when I got into the financial world. And I bought a franchise of the college planning industry. I had my company, College Money Pros, and it's really a company that kind of help families, not only on the financial side, putting together funding plans to pay for college, but it was a complete plan to make sure that the kid stays on track, as well as to make sure that we can use different strategies that not known to the general public to get them a lot of free money for their kids to go to college. Now I'm talking about families that are six-figure families. Now I did that. Then 2008, 2009, wiped out my mortgage company. I had to lay everybody off, but fortunately I had the other business. I brought in a partner, we were running it. And then fast forward to 2017, I basically was overrun with clients. I just couldn't handle the amount of people that were coming in. And I was, getting older, so I was getting a little burned out. So I switched over to the helping the baby boomer generation, trying to protect their assets from the, from the stock market. Did that till 2019, and then 2019 hit. No more workshops at the libraries, but the great thing about it is from 2005, when I got into that financial arena, I learned a lot. And so when I actually hit 2019 hit, it was kind of awesome. It was not good, but it was awesome because it opened up the world of crypto to me. And when I jumped into that world, I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. Okay. I'm in my mid 60s. So, very few people in my age group, the baby boomer generation, have jumped into crypto. Some have, but not a whole lot of people. Yeah. So I lost a lot of money. I lost some money because I didn't know what I was doing. And just little simple steps that I could have taken that I just didn't know because, the majority of the baby boomer generation, the younger guys talk right over their heads. And so there was nobody out there. So I started learning, lost some money. Then I got into a platform where I made a lot of money, did really well with it. And, but then it started bothering me because what about the other people that were coming into the industry because it was getting more popular? Yeah. So I decided to, I still have my website, cryptomandan.com. And so basically it's an educational workshop mainly for the crypto curious and the baby boomers so that they need help with just like the basics of crypto, how to open a wallet. What's a wallet? What's an exchange? What about my security? What do I need to do? What does the simple things need? What are they? What are the simple things in crypto? Most people don't have a clue. And so I've continued with that. And of course I do some other financial things as well, but it led me to, we relocated to Las Vegas about 6-7 months ago, tried to retire, didn't last long, got back into the work mode and met you, Guy. And then a few months later, I met Brett and I went to one of his workshops at a real estate office. And afterward, I said, we need to talk. So we just started talking and, when you're in crypto, you kind of speak the same language because what you're talking about, most people don't understand. And so it just kept it going and kept going. And then here we are about to do a podcast on that subject. And it really is going to be an educational podcast. It's not about selling anybody anything. It's about people learning so that they don't make some of the same mistakes that we've made in the past.
Yeah. People have so many opinions about cryptocurrency, with it being a relatively new tool in finance. And so for the two of you in launching this show, what do you want people to know about crypto and cash? Because they're interchangeable, right? Financial services are heavy impact in our society. And what is it you guys want to educate people about? I know you had talked about education, Uncle Dan. What do you want to educate them about with this show?
From my perspective, I want to educate them that, let them know that there's a safe place where they can learn. It seems like everybody out there is trying to sell you something. And, You know, our whole thing, Brett and I, we have the same philosophy. You know, let's teach people about it, and then if they want to get into the crypto industry or anything else, then at least they have a space where they could get the education, where they can learn about it without somebody throwing something down their throat. You know, what about this? You can ask questions about anything in the financial world, and we're here to help you, pretty much. And then from there, if people want to do something on the side, that's up to them. But that's my perspective on the purpose of the show.
I mean, definitely a safe space. And not only that, but I want to get a little more in depth about it, as far as not just here's the words and definitions and what it does. The whole point of this is, why is Bitcoin important in the first place? Why are so many people talking about it? I mean, obviously, if it's came from nothing and developed into something, it's for a reason. Why is that? What does it do? And to me, the first couple of years that I was into cryptocurrency, for me, trying to wrap my brain around what it does and on computers and all that. I mean, a little bit about my background. I mean, I barely know how to turn on a computer, and I'm not kidding. But I've had conversations with developers of blockchains who are a lot smarter than me, and it's never conversations about protocols and computer codes or anything like that. And what I did was, when I started approaching it about understanding the history of money and understanding the history of the US dollar and the system that we're in right now, which comes down to cash, because the cash that we have right now is from a fiat system. And the definition of a fiat is basically currency that's developed from a government, backed by a government. It's not backed by any gold or anything. So when you start to peel down the layers and understand the system that we already have and how, in a sense, we're doomed to fail because we always have, then you start to say, well, okay, then why are people paying attention to Bitcoin? What problem does it solve? And when you start looking at it that way and start understanding the purpose of it, it really comes down to a lot of it with a belief system. And that's something that I want to bring more inclusive into the conversation, so people understand the purpose of it. When you understand the system and why it's there and the real life problem that it solves, that draws you in, and that's going to make you want to learn about it and understand the point of it any more than me talking about any words or definitions, So that's about it.
Yeah. There's just so much to be learned in this space. And there's a curious audience out there. I mean, as Dan had talked about, particularly amongst young people, but I see a lot of older people now who are also starting to become more and more curious about cryptocurrency. I think that the Bitcoin's ability to be sustainable, even peaks and valleys with it over the last few years, the fact that it has still stayed viable, I think, is something that shows that this isn't some fly by night thing. Cryptocurrency is going to be a part of our society. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be very intrigued by the information that the two of you have to offer, again, to create a good space for them to learn. As Dan talked about the basics, and you, Brett, taking them more in depth, giving people a better understanding of this. The more that people understand things, I think, is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this show to the network. Life is about understanding, and in so many ways. And so one of the reasons I think people are afraid of cryptocurrency and its potential is that they just don't know. They don't have enough information, or cryptocurrency doesn't have the track record that the stock market has or the real estate market has. But you have to understand that all of those markets had to start somewhere to build that track record. And so that's why I really enjoy where you guys are going with this show, is because I'm a big believer in cryptocurrency. I really think that it has got a place in our future. It's got a place in our present. Actually, when you see these major hedge funds and huge financial institutions that are investing in cryptocurrency, they don't invest in things that they think are fly by night. And so that's, for our network, we think that what you guys have to offer is just something really valuable. And we're really looking forward to the information that you're going to be sharing.
Can't wait. It's really exciting for.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. So, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, so guys, I want you to share with the audience. We're working on the date when we're going to regularly be airing the show. But in the meantime, will you share with the audience how they can get in contact with you for consultation, or if they want to learn more about the particular services that both of you provide?
Sure. Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead, Brett. That's fine. Go ahead.
I would just say I for social media, the one that I'm on probably the most is Instagram, and it's Vegas Crypto Agent, just like my name down here, and Instagram, Vegas Crypto Agent. Or if you want to send an email, is there a place for me to put my contact info, or so I just say it here?
Yeah. Just tell everyone what your contact info is.
Oh, yeah. So, and then my email is LV as in Las Vegas, Brett, BRET, team, TEAM @gmail.com. And I have a crypto agent course, but I charge $99, but just let me know if you want it and I'll give you free access to it. I don't want to charge you for it. I'm not interested in the money, but I basically lay out a whole course on cryptocurrency, more specifically with realtors and kind of how it plays the course. So that's called that's called Crypto Agent Bootcamp. So again, email me or 702-628-3476. Text me, call me, whatever works. I'm always available to answer any questions. And if you want access to the course, let me know. No problem. Free of charge.
How about you, Uncle Dan?
Hey, I want that course too. No. Hey, knowledge. Hey, you know what? Knowledge is power. You just
finished it last weekend, man.
I know you were working on it. No, knowledge is power. Well, people can reach me at Dan at UncleDanConsulting.com. My website is I started a new website. It's not 100% complete, but they can go to UncleDanConsulting.com, and they can couple websites. That's the my main website, but I also have CryptoManDan.com, which is a crypto educational site as well. They can reach me directly. I don't mind giving out my number. It is 702-900-5905, where they can just reach out to me directly. That's fine. I'm very accessible. Just we're here to help right now. So however someone wants to reach out, we're here.
Yeah, guys, we're really excited again about having your show over at prconnectionsradio.com. And Brett, the Vegas Crypto Agent, and Uncle Dan, they are the hosts of the Crypto and Cash podcast, coming to you soon here at PR Connections. And you guys are going to have a lot to talk about. I love your dynamic amongst the two of you. I think people are going to have a lot of fun along with learning a lot about how to get more to green stuff, right? Be it through cryptocurrency or through other financial means. So it's going to be, it's an exciting time, and I wish you guys nothing but luck with your podcast.
You know what? It's going to be a lot of fun as well, because you know what? We both like to laugh, and we both have a few jokes here and there. So, it's not going to be one of these boring podcasts. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of fun.
And blockchain is a distributed ledger.
Nothing like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like stories and histories and everything. And that's why it's like, we keep it fun. Dan's a great guy. I'm a good guy. We just want to spread good love and energy and education. So
a block what? What's a block? Block what? Around the block? What are you talking about?
So you take them and they're like a chain together? Or how does he know he did that? Oh, computers.
Oh my God.
So just a little taste of what you're going to get as part of the Cash podcast here at prconnectionsradio.com. Again, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we are really looking forward to offering your show to the world. We think a lot of people are going to enjoy it.
Awesome.
Thanks,
you.
Guy. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
And in the new year, we're launching a lot of new shows over here at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. Stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting 2023. Have a great day.